We're sure feeling the Final Four feeling this morning, that's for sure. Look at that, raising the trophy there. All right, we want to say good morning, happy Wednesday.
Yeah, we are joined this morning by Mark Hanrahan and Brenna Green from Indianapolis. They'll be bringing us continuing coverage of last night's Elite Eight game and how the fans who traveled to Indy are reacting.
Yeah, I'm jealous of them. We also have Karthik Venkatraman here in the Krem 2 newsroom. He's taking a closer look at Gonzaga's most historic season yet and what the Zags can expect in the Final Four against Joshua's favorite team. So which one is that, Josh?
Oh, they're saying because I hate UCLA. Brenna and Mark, save me, please. Let's talk about anything other than UCLA. Let's talk Zags.
Yeah, that's an easy one, Joshua. Zags just keep on rolling. Brent and I were chatting. My goodness, you keep expecting them to face more of a challenge as they advance each round. It just hasn't happened yet. They just keep walking through teams, and that was the case again last night with USC.
Yeah, Joshua, they're heavily favored against UCLA, so you have that, I guess, in your favor as well. There's an old adage in coaching, Mark, where coaches say all the time, we're taking it one game at a time. Mark Few wants to amend that phrasing for this NCAA tournament run. He's taking it one celebration at a time.
No, hey, look, man, everybody wants to just keep moving this thing forward, but that's just not how we roll.
Mark Few, in a way, is determined not to roll. He's determined to be present in the moment of making his second Final Four as a head coach.
This is a heck of an accomplishment. We're going to take it and savor it for what it is. That doesn't lessen our desire to win the next game or to win two more games, but we're smart enough and or wise enough to know that, these are really, really special times.
Those special times include a special player. Drew Timme once again had a dominant performance. He showed he was no match for USC's Evan Mobley, who many have as a top 5 NBA draft pick. Timme had 23 points against the Trojans and was named the West Region's most outstanding player.
He always figures out a way to get to his shot. And it's not the same shot every time. It's, watching him, it's a different move, different shot each and every time.
Overall, the team's defense shined against USC as well. The Trojans just couldn't get in a rhythm in the first half, and by halftime, the game was essentially over.
When we lock in on that end, we can be excellent. So, that's a piece that we've really tried to improve on. And I think that is, helping us a lot in some of these wins that we've got in the past couple of games.
Jalen Suggs did take a second to reflect on his process of coming to Gonzaga postgame. With a national championship within his grasp, he, like few, knows these are special times.
Looking back on it, this is the best decision I've ever made. I miss football every day, but I couldn't see myself anywhere but here right now.
Very cool stuff right there. One of the big storylines all tournament long has just been the coronavirus precautions and players in the bubble, right? Fan capacity at the venues capped at 25%. And I was kind of interested to see, is it going to feel like a game? Are there going to be enough fans there to make it feel like, a good atmosphere, Elite Eight and Final Four atmosphere? And last night there was a lot of fans, and they were obviously pretty happy.
Yeah, and you got to catch up with those fans after the contest.
I love it. I can't wait for Final Four to see. This next game's gonna be great too, Michigan and UCLA. But the Zags never a doubt from the start.
I used to go to the University of Kentucky too. The best team I'd ever seen till this one was the Rups Reds back in '65. So this is really a great team.
Drew Timme had his way down low, and I think they could have had 10 guys on the floor, and it wouldn't have made a difference.
What about you?
Yeah, go Bulldogs, Chief, go Bulldogs, Bulldogs.
Gonzaga all the way. Gonzaga all the way.
Is this the best Gonzaga team you guys have seen?
Yes.
Now, the Zags have not made the Final Four since 2017. That was their first and only time. Didn't go so well for the Zags at the end of the day. Kennedy Meek's hands was out of bounds. That's all I have to say. But this year it just feels different. I'm sorry, it does.
Hey, remind me, Brenna. Last night before the game they were 29-0, so now they're what?
30-0.
That sounds pretty good. All right, we're going to hang out here in downtown Indy, bring you much more coverage all morning long. By the way, you can catch the game against UCLA on Saturday on Krem 2. Tim and Joshua, back to you guys.
All right, our crew from Indy, thanks so much. Karthik Venkatraman is also joining us this morning. He's breaking down some of the stats from Gonzaga's historic season. Hey, Karthik.
Yeah, hey guys, we all know this has been an incredible season for Gonzaga so far. When you look deeper though, you might really appreciate how amazing this team really is. Gonzaga remains undefeated at 30-0. They have won 30 games in 5 straight seasons. That is the most consecutive 30-win seasons in NCAA history. And we're talking about, this is done in a pandemic season nonetheless, in a shortened year. So that's just extremely impressive. The Zags have won 27 games in a row now by double digits. That extends their own NCAA record once again. Their last single-digit came against earlier this season against West Virginia. And really, that could have been a double-digit game if Jalen Suggs wasn't hurt for most of it. He had to sit out due to that ankle injury, but when he came back, they were able to close that one out. And then this is the second Final Four ever for the Zags. The other one happening in 2017, as Brennan and Mark just mentioned, didn't go so well for them as they lost to North Carolina in the championship. But I will one-up that last graphic, however. Gonzaga is just one of 3 teams that have reached the Final Four twice in the past 5 seasons. The other 2 being Villanova and North Carolina. Hey, both of those teams won national titles in that span. So is it Gonzaga's time? I guess that's what we're about to find out.
Karthik, all the data shows it is, right?
I mean, they have been playing amazing. They have by and far been the best team in the country all season long. I really don't think there's a debate about it. Yeah. 30-0. Their non-conference schedule was loaded. They're doing it again here in the tournament. They dominated conference play. I mean, there's not much more you can say than they're the best team in the country, and I don't think anyone's going to be shocked when they win the title.
And you know, Karthik, we've been talking about the superstitions too. We've talked about that over the last couple of weeks. I've had people emailing me say, be careful, you don't want to jinx it. I think the Zags are past the jinx right now. Wouldn't you say that's a good shot?
You know what? I think they're so good, even if there was a jinx, they'd find a way to beat that too. So I
by double digits. They'd beat it by double digits.